Strong Enough merch is now available. Go to strongenoughpod.com and check out all the stuff that you can get so that you'll have those daily reminders that you are strong enough, you are worth it. Welcome to the Strong Enough Podcast, where we talk about the challenges and celebrate the triumphs of people just like you. I'm your host, Claudia. Today we have a special treat with two guests, one returning and one brand new to the podcast. We're going to talk about unpopular opinions in relationships and in the workplace. Please help me welcome Russell and Shea. I'm so excited to be here today because I have two of my favorite people in the world, Russell and Shea. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
You two look adorable. So nice. Shea, I'm jealous because you always look amazing, as I was telling Russell earlier. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I want to point out I'm the only one sporting Russell's tattoo shop here today. So I don't know what's up with that. He thought we were going to be outfit twinsies.
Yeah, so I just wanted to change it up. I didn't know if anyone had like eye thing where they have like, oh, who's talking?
I don't know. I have
Not
a mouth.
not like the too hotness here is making me look any worse. I mean, I wish I knew how both of you guys are gonna look. So
Stop. Well, Russell, you have been on here twice, so I would love it though if you would give us an update. The people who have not seen your first two episodes, I mean, I don't want to call them losers, but you know, maybe they should watch them. So tell everybody a little bit about you and what's going on lately.
So everything is going very well. So I have my own seat now. I think last time that we talked, I didn't have a tattoo chair, so now I do. I'm over at the Meadows Mall. We're with Revolt Tattoo, so just keep going and doing what I'm loving. Relationship wise, Sarah and I are doing fantastic. So we're still looking for a nice addition. So if still anyone who wants to try it out. But yeah, no, I mean, we're doing fantastic. I'm doing great, professionally. It's she's doing great professionally as well. So yeah, we're just loving life right now.
I want to say, first off, if you love Disney, you need to get to Sarah's Etsy shop because she does some amazing products. So we'll definitely post that link for her. And then Russell, your tattoos are fire. Your watercolor, I'm blown away. Like, seriously, I don't want a watercolor tattoo, but if I did, it would be you. And I have referred other people to you. So keep crushing it. And in fact, Russell is doing my next tattoo. So I'm stoked about that. Yeah, very cool.
I don't know if you want to hint to whatever we're doing, but
you can give a hint. I'll allow that.
I like nerdy and geeky, like I told you. Funko is, I don't know. Oh, actually, it's all blurred out in the background, but that whole entire wall is all Funko. So
wow. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm getting a Funko and I think it's going on my calf. Surprise. Shea, you've been down there quiet for a minute. Let's hear from you. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how everybody mispronounces your last name.
Oh, well, they also mispronounce the front name, the first name. I get called Shea all the time. Drives me nuts. But let's see, I am a single mom. I work in the aesthetic dermatology industry. I do a lot of sales for laser tattoo removal. So I look at bad tattoos all day long, and I hear the most insane stories. Together, everybody's got a common denominator of why they don't want the tattoo, but some of them are just absolutely great. So I love it because I get to help people build their confidence if it's some sort of aesthetic thing that they want to do, especially women. Just a little Botox. It could be lips, it could be a tattoo, hair removal, whatever. So that's what I do all day, every day. And then I have a 2-year-old who, was a little surprise to everybody, including myself. He's really cute. He's napping right now. We're going to go see Santa later.
He is adorable. He is a little version of you. I think.
He is. The other day, now he's figured out he's talking, and everything's, "What's this? What's this?" I was on the phone the other night, and he saw a wine glass, and he went, "Wine!" And I'm like, "I don't need you screaming wine while I'm on the phone." The fact that he knows that that's my wine glass, I'm like, "Oh god."
I love that. I think that's amazing.
I didn't wanna lie to him. I was like, "It's a wine glass." So,
You can't have any.
you
But
can't
this is
have
the time where you teach them difference between red wine and then white wine glasses and everything else. So I mean,
Right.
he
a
has
good
to be
idea.
educated.
Yes, you gotta,
I
yes.
And
Mhm.
pairings. He needs to understand pairings because you can't have, like, a great steak with a white. Like, that's not okay.
Nope.
I remember my first time eating a steak.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to jump in. So, we are doing something a little different this week. It was actually Russell's idea that we are going to do an unpopular opinion episode, but we're going to keep it into work and relationships since that's kind of what we talk about on here. But we're going to share some of our unpopular opinions on those topics, and we're going to kind of, you know, chat through them, maybe disagree with one another, maybe not because we're all pretty similar and we're super cool. So yeah, we may just agree with it. I'm going to start with my favorite unpopular work opinion, and that is the 2-week notice.
Okay.
I think the 2-week notice is bullshit, and here's why. If you get fired, now I'm not saying if you were stealing or, you killed somebody at work, like, you should immediately be terminated. That's cool. But, like, if you just suck at your job, they don't give you a 2-week notice. So if you suck as a boss or a company, why should I have to give you a 2-week notice? Discuss.
I'm really bad at 2-week notices. Like, there was one time I had a job, and my boss drove me so nuts, and I had so much anxiety. I got to the parking lot one day and just turned around and went home.
Yeah.
Said sorry. And I gave my friend the laptop, and she took it into work for me. Bye. I mean, what was I gonna do? It was New Year's. In my job, if especially in sales, we're commission based, if you there's no 2-week notice. There's no point. What are you gonna work for?
Right.
Right.
What are you gonna do on commission in 2 weeks if you already know that you're going somewhere else?
Yeah, nothing.
Pretty
Nothing.
much you check out, right?
Yeah. I mean, any time that I've ever given a 2-week notice many years ago, I mean, it didn't really serve a purpose except for HR.
Time to
Mm.
maybe give you a party that you don't want.
Right. See, for me, I can see both sides because I was before I was a tattoo artist, I was in management and I did corporate side and I did on the grounds, that type of thing. 2-week notice when I would get that from an employee, I'm like, hey, thanks, but I know you're just gonna check out. So if you want to make this your last day, cool, hang out with us. Just do the busy work. You don't have to work. And again, that would be a very unpopular opinion when it comes to like my bosses or my boss's boss. Oh, you should keep them there. Use the hell out of them and stuff like that. I'm like, they're not going to do anything for me. They're leaving for a reason.
Let
There's
it
nothing
go.
I can. There's nothing I can do. One of those things is just hey, just reorganize this so it makes it look good. You don't have to talk to anyone because I don't want you to talk to anyone anyways because you're leaving. You don't give a. We're allowed to curse, right?
Oh, yes.
All right. I don't give a fuck about this customer wanting a freaking T-shirt. Just yeah, it's over fucking there. Who cares, right? So I don't want them talking to customers or clients or whatever now. So it's just like, yeah, if you want to make this your last day, go for it. My bosses will call me and be like, oh, you should have kept them on the schedule and used the hell out of them and doing all. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah, they're not gonna do anything.
Yeah, I think the only time is if you're moving out of state and you're like, "Hey, I am moving in a month, but I still wanna work because I want the recommendation for whatever, or I'm transferring in the company," whatever. That's the only time I think that's necessary. But other than that, I mean, if I called my job right now, they'd be like, "Bye."
Right.
Service industry, same thing. They'll just tell you to not come back in.
Here's the sad thing about it is that when I did quit my other job, I did give them a month notice. Like, hey, I was like, I'll stick around for a month, you know. But actually, I did work, so I don't know if I'm like the different case of people. It's like I was like, I guess it was just in me, like just how I presented myself and how professional I was. I was just like, yeah, I'll give you a month and I'll actually work. So I don't know. That's weird.
No, I do appreciate that because, like, I mean, I have a good work ethic and I'm a hard worker, but, and I'm not saying every company, that I ran away from screaming, because that's definitely not the case. I just think it's unfair to assume that you should give that notice.
Not especially when the company doesn't care about you. You know
Right.
Yeah.
what I mean? A lot of things and a lot of people that I talked to previously, like again in the management world that I was in, people don't leave companies because really rare would they leave a company because they're happy. So they're leaving for a reason. They're leaving because the management sucks. They're leaving because I mean, like the whole Starbucks thing. They're going on strike because their equipment is pieces of crap and all that stuff. So I mean, there's reasons why people are leaving. If it was a management thing, I always kind of like talk to them and go, "What can I do to be better as a manager?" So I mean, I treated it as it was a learning experience for myself. But then my dad moment would kick in and be like, "So why are you leaving?"
I think you would be a cool boss, Russell.
Oh, I am. No, I know I am. It's okay.
I quit a job because of Claudia one time.
Ooh,
Well, now you're gonna have to tell this story.
story time.
I was working in the hospital and we were doing like the wine festivals, and I think we had a bunch lined up, and
Mhm.
I was just called the hospital one day and I was like, "Sorry, I'm taking another job. Bye." And it was like right before Thanksgiving and I didn't want to work the holiday. And they paid out all my vacation time and they were like, "If you ever want to come back, you're in good standing." And I'm like, "How?"
Yeah. Really?
I'm in good standing. Okay, thanks. But yeah, we were doing where were we? Oh, we were going to Houston.
Mm.
Mm,
Home of the peanut butter
I
pretzel
have
incident.
I have so many peanut butter pretzels right now.
Mhm.
I'm
So
like,
so Russell, who looks confused, some people have heard this story, on the podcast about the tattoo that Shay and I have, but there was a time in Houston that we were working, and we were, working in automotive marketing. So we had these, like, nice, I was gonna say really nice, but that's a lie. Nice new cars, that we were showing, and so we were loading one up one day, and we had this big barrel of peanut butter pretzels, and it fell out of back seat and broke onto the pavement. And Shay and I looked at each other, and we looked at the ground, and we looked at each other, and we began to eat the peanut butter pretzels off of the ground. We tried not to eat the ones that were directly touching
they
the
were
pavement.
stacked. Yeah.
Yeah,
There were
we
no words. We just started eating, like,
we
we knew.
we
It
have
was
standards. I
instant.
mean, we're not going to eat off the floor.
right. They were so good, and we couldn't,
We were in a parking lot.
of a hotel, so dressed the same. So we're wearing the same outfit in a new car, eating peanut butter pretzels off of the ground. I can only imagine. I'm sure we ended up on somebody's social media somewhere like, "Look at these crazy bitches. They are eating off the ground. They're dressed the same in stupid outfits." I don't understand.
Question marks all over their car.
Yes, that was the other thing. So we had to cover all of the badging of the vehicles so that nobody knew what it was. So there were like little Joker-esque question
Little
marks
blue question mark round stickers, and they were on the wheels, they were on the back, they
everywhere.
everywhere you could see the make and model of the car, like, even on that little tiny thing on the windshield or, like, the windows,
Mhm,
right? Little writing. We
mhm.
had to do multiple question marks along the front of the car.
I'm
So
gonna
the
find
geeky side of
pictures.
me, so
I
the
have
Yeah.
geeky side of me said that the question mark for Joker, it's not Joker, it's the Riddler.
Oh, you're right. As
Didn't
I
Jim
was saying
Carrey
it,
play
I was
him?
like, "I don't think that's right." So it's not geeky.
Didn't Jim Carrey play him in that movie?
Yes.
Oh god, I love that movie.
I love Jim Carrey.
I do too.
Okay, so story has it is that he was doing all these things, and then all of a sudden people are just typecasting him, right? Over and over again. Funny face, comedy, slapstick, all this stuff. He wanted to do more serious stuff, which he did a couple of serious movies, which were fantastic and definitely shows his range as an actor. But here's another, okay, unpopular decision. Just because you've been doing it for such a long time, do you feel like you should be expected to do things like just in life in general or in just business? Like, are you supposed to just cave in and be like, okay, this is how I am, and this is, I can't grow, and that's where I think a lot of people have problems with, you know what I mean? Especially when it comes to the Jim Carrey stuff. He paints now. So he's doing what he's loving now too. So I mean, like, do you stop what you're doing?
Hmm.
I when you said that, the Humpty Dance came into my mind, and I wanted to start doing that because anytime I hear "Stop what you're doing," because 'cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna do. I can do the whole song, but I agree with you, and I think we think about actors being typecast, but don't we all of us get typecast in one sense, I think a lot. If we're good at something or if we've done it for a really long time, we are expected to continue.
Mhm. Oh, and especially in your job, sometimes you do something, they keep adding more and more, but they're not giving you a promotion or they're not, compensating you. But the people that work hard, they do get all the extra work. And sometimes I like it, but then you have the people that still get the same pay and they're just half-assing. And that happens in so many companies and it's not fair.
That drives me crazy. I think at work more than almost anything else is when the people don't get rid of the bad apples.
Exactly. And it's like no one wants to stand up and say something. But this
Uh,
person's doing twice the work as this other person, but you're getting paid the same and no one's, like, acknowledging it.
and why is the person, the slacker, they're not gonna change. They have no incentive to do anything different because they're getting paid the same to do nothing. Nobody's saying anything about it. I mean, except for me and Shay, because 'cause we're always the loudmouths of the bunch. Russell, that's probably you as well?
It is. Oh no, it is. In my other job that I had, it was people send. They wouldn't pull the trigger on anybody to fire them. I was the person that if you got sent to me, it was your last chance. And it wasn't even like I gave him a chance. I gave him all the benefits of the doubt and everything else. I'm like, it could be just the manager. You just couldn't work with them. But I was the manager and I was known for it too in the company, like in the entire company. That you got sent to Russell, you fucked up, or you're on your way out. Easy, plain and simple. And nobody would pull the trigger. And I'm just like, you suck. You need to get out. So I'm very strong when it comes to that.
I
Have you
also think it
ever
really. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, have you ever seen the people you're on a plane and you're waiting and they're holding the plane for somebody and they tell you like, oh, there's this, the family of the Smiths, like they're on their way, their plane was late, we're holding the plane. And then you see them get on the plane and they all have like their Starbucks and their Jamba Juice and they're just like lollygagging onto the plane and you want to stab them. Has everybody experienced this? I fired somebody for that once. They were late to an event and it was at a speedway, so it was kind of hard to find like where you're supposed to park and then you got to walk 8 miles to get to where you're going. But as we're all standing there with the clients and we're watching this girl just like bebop, not even fast walking, like bitch couldn't even fast walk. And so she bebops her way over and we're watching her like a movie, all the way. And she got there and I was like, yeah, like put some put some stank on it. Like you needed to hurry. I don't need you. So yeah, I'm pretty hardcore too when it comes to firing, Russell. Like I'll get rid of somebody. I'll set an example. I'll just be like, yeah, I just need to fire somebody to let everybody know that can't play. Shay knows this about me.
I would stare at him or I would boo at him. Like
I like the boo.
like I would understand if like a plane was late and stuff like that, and they're rushing and they're like,
Right.
and they come in like, oh my god, thanks for keeping the door open and everything else. When you can see the urgency in them, but if they have no urgency whatsoever with them, I'm gonna be like, this bitch just fucking kept me from being in the air.
Right. Even if, let's say you do make the bathroom stop and the Starbucks stop, still shove that shit in your purse and do the rush at the last minute. Like, at least make me think you care about my time. Just pretend for that 5 seconds that you got to be like, woo, oh, thank you, everybody. And then get in your seat, and then you can pull out your beverage and your snackies, and we're all happy.
I hate it when people get on the airplane with hot food and they just like open it all up and they're eating it all next to you. And I'm like, I don't want to smell your hot chicken sandwich. Like, I really don't want to smell your fast food. I don't want to smell your burger. We're in a very small little like bullet here. Like, I don't, ugh. Just, it's so gross. Like, I don't like our little snacks, fine. But a meal, we are not going overseas right now. You can save that for later.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will whip out a meal, but I will wait till it cools off. Like, I'll wait till like midway through the flight. Fish, though, fish is a no.
Oh, that's a no-no. That's definitely a no-no.
They shouldn't even allow that fish fillet in the airport.
They shouldn't sell it in the airport at all. Sushi, anything like that should be a no.
Not even in the workplace, though. Like, have you ever had someone that just like cook their fish in the microwave at work, and
Yes.
you're like, bleh.
Sprouts, cauliflower.
Disgusting. Ugh, like, stop.
I've always hated the smell of break rooms. They've always grossed me out. The communal refrigerator, disgusting. I used to, one job I had, every month they would assign 2 people to clean out the fridge. I would take the day off.
Yeah, I'd be calling in dead that day.
I would go missing. I mean, I was not touching. I don't put my stuff in there. I'm not cleaning out your junk. Like, I don't want to touch your old soggy food. I do that at my house, and it's my food.
Yeah, and I don't want to touch that either.
I have to clean up my own fridge. I don't want to clean out the one at work.
I think that's where the line is drawn. It's like, if it's your food, it's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? It's your kid. I don't mind wiping their ass. I'm not gonna wipe somebody else's shit, right?
My dog, I do occasionally have to clean his shit paws because he's blind, and so sometimes he will poop and then walk through it.
Oh,
I know.
That's okay.
A quick aside, and then we're going to get into some relationship stuff. So, sports fans, so I know, Russell, you're not one, but Shea, you know the Uga Bulldog. I know. So, Russell, it's a live mascot of the University of Georgia. This dog gets treated like royalty. There's obviously been several versions of him because they die. But his name is Uga, and he travels around in an SUV, air conditioned all the time. So I met one of the Ugas once. There is somebody assigned to wipe his butt every time he poops. Somebody has to wipe this dog's butt.
How do you go through life with that? It's like, what do you do for a living? You know, Ugg the dog? Yeah, I wipe his ass.
And I really moving up in the world.
Oh my God, what do you even call that? Groomer?
The groomer technician.
Groomer.
I love it.
I don't even know what bullet points you'd put under there.
Yeah, because what successes do you have?
Sure that the hygiene is like on point. I don't know.
No rectal infections ever? Like, is that your key measurement? Like your key achievement? I don't know.
Your KPI?
Yeah, right. If anybody has this job or knows somebody that has it, please let us know. What are the KPIs of groomer technician? Not a groomer, not a dog groomer, but we're talking about you just wipe the dog's ass.
I bet Georgia has like a class that you get like an MBA on.
Yes. That would be about right for Georgia.
Leave it to Georgia.
All the Georgia people, don't get mad at us.
I'm Georgia. I'm a Georgia boy all the way through. I mean, yeah.
I'm a Tennessee girl, so we got Smokey.
And I like Smokey.
Smokey just had his last year. We got a new Smokey come in.
Did somebody wipe his ass?
I don't know. He is taken care of very well. So he lives with the family, and then on the weekends for like game days and stuff, he lives at the frat house, and he like has a couple people that take care of him and little trainers that are on the field and stuff.
I'm gonna need you to find out.
There's a
Come
whole
on.
I read a whole thing on him because the bloodline, all of the Smokies come from the same bloodline. The first Smoky, his name was Blue.
Aw.
In the
Shay had a
50s.
dog named Blue.
Little
He is
fun fact right there.
hilarious. Probably like leave me alone.
Drinking wine somewhere.
Oh, he's probably in the toilet. Every time I get on the phone, that dog finds a way to make noise, and it's either he goes to the water bowl if it's close and drinks water so loud, or he finds a toilet, and I'm like, stop drinking out of the toilet, and I'm on the phone. Every time. You just
Not
know.
surprised.
Mm-mm.
So you got
Never had a
your
dog like that.
kid doing, announcing your wine glasses and your dog making as much noise as possible.
It's a freaking circus.
I love it.
I'm the ringleader.
It's awesome though.
That's okay because I'm the struggle bus driver, so it's all
I'm
good.
the ringleader of the circus. Like, it's a circus that I didn't ask for an admission ticket to.
And yet here you are running it.
Here I am running it. Like, I did not sign up for this.
But I guess I'm in here now. Well, you look cute as a ringleader, so I
Thank
think it's
you.
fine. Russell, give me an unpopular relationship opinion. This should be easy for you to start.
I know a lot of people who've already know me and seen my podcasts and stuff like that. Talking about polyamory is definitely a thing, but I want to throw a little wrench in there. Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, so chivalry, is it really dead? Is it something where that's just the way you grew up? I mean, for me personally, I think I'm a chivalrous person. I mean, there's the sidewalk rule, there's the opening door rule, there's staircase rule. I mean, those are just things that I just grew up with. But I don't feel like women want that anymore. Some women, let me rephrase that. Some women do not want it, or they say they want it, but not really. And I think it comes down to you'll treat someone so well and everything else, but then dump you or leave you for the bad person or the bad guy. The guy with the leather jacket. Whatever. So I think for me, it's like it will never die for me. So if you're ever with me, even if we're friends, you're going through the door first. I'm opening up your door. Sidewalk rule, all that stuff. But I don't think women appreciate it as much anymore. I don't know. I get hurt sometimes when it comes to that, because it's like that's how you're supposed to treat somebody. That's how you're supposed to treat anyone who means something to you. And I don't think women or some women don't appreciate it anymore. And I think that hurts. I mean, that's a value that I hold really true, and I think that knowing that I get shitted on for having that value, I think that totally hurts. I don't think that's right. I think that's terrible. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I love that you brought this up because as you were saying it, so I do consider myself a pretty independent person. I don't need no man, but I love those things still. I love having my door held open. Like, I like it if Lee orders for me even. So I enjoy those things still, but I think you're right. There are a lot of women that take independence and they're like, "Oh, well, if I'm independent, then I don't want that. I don't want your help. I don't need you." Well, yeah, you don't need it, but it's just nice and it's gentlemanly, and don't be a bitch if somebody wants to be kind to you.
I want somebody to do those things for me. I want them to make me feel safe. And I think sometimes those things just kind of set like a layout for what is to come, unless you're a narcissist and you're just faking it until we get to the main point. But I think sometimes it does come from that the super independent women. It's like, you can let a man do something for you, and that's okay. Doesn't make you any less independent. And I also think sometimes it's the way that some people grow up. Like, how was your household when you were younger? Did you see these things? Was this a part of your life? For me, it was. Like, I did see my dad, you know, treat my mom this way. My dad treated me that way. And so I was accustomed to it. And any man that doesn't have those things, like, it's an immediate turn on.
Mhm.
Because I'm
Agreed.
like, how did you grow up? Like, who taught you to be so rude, or, not to open the door, or walk through the door and leave me to come in behind?
Right.
I'll be
Friends.
standing there waiting.
Now, I will trade off, so, like, if I'm with friends, I will open the door for them, and then, like, I think my friend, Boo Boo and I went through, like, 2 doors recently, and so, like, I opened the first one, and then she opened the second one. I do appreciate those things, Russell, and apparently so does Shay, so we don't think this is an unpopular opinion.
The second that one confuses me. I'm like, do I stand in the middle and wait on him to come through the
Oh,
door to open the second door? I'm most of the time, if you do the first door, we don't have to do the second door, because I'm not, like, gonna stand in the middle of Longhorn trying to, like, in the middle area.
so Russell, how do you as a chivalrous man, how do you handle the two-door scenario?
Uh, I think I'm gonna go with Shay on this one, where it's one of those things, or with you, where if I open up the first door, see, okay, here's the thing. All right, so I believe in chivalry, I believe in all that stuff, but I also believe that there is uh the women's side of the door rule. So, yeah, and this is back in, I think I saw it in a movie. It was The Bronx Tale or something like that, where you have to test a woman too, where you open the door, your driver door is locked. If you open up that door for them and they don't lean over to unlock your door or open up your door, I mean, like, is that a red flag? I guess that's like the new word now. Is that a red flag for you? I If I'm gonna do something like that, not that I totally expect it, but it is something where, hey, you also open up my door. So if going to the two door rule, if I open up the door and you go in first, I think you should have that door open too, to also let me in. Because chivalry is what you present somebody, right? You open up the door, you present the front seat, you present the worlds. If you're opening up a door to a building or something like that, you're presenting the building, your love, your person, your one, right? So if there's a two-door thing, I did that for the first door, you do that for me for the second door. I mean, I think that's just the way it is. I think there's a balance between that. So I think, not only, I think it falls heavily on men, but I think it should fall a little bit on women too. So that's my belief. I mean, it's one of those things where that's women should want to be with somebody too, and present them and make them feel good.
I have 2 comments on that, and I agree with you 100%. So comment 1 on the car, it's really bad nowadays because they don't even have to lean over to unlock the door. They just gotta hit the button in most cases. There are still some Are there cars, I guess, that
I
have
don't think
the
so. Like
I
old
don't
school hot
I'm
rods,
not
but
dating a guy that has a car.
Yeah.
if you crank your window like that, you're not with me.
Yeah, I'm cranking it and jumping out, like, that's all there is to it. The other thing I was gonna say is there's always gonna be that bitchy lady who's like, "But you just presented me to the lobby, and now I'm supposed to open the main door for you, so can we just smack those people?" Not literally, that would be assault, but in our heads, we smack them.
Think any place that has a double door, especially restaurants, if you have a hostess up there, they need to be opening that door.
Yeah, because what are they doing? They're just standing there
I think that is just
texting.
proper. Like, there are hotels around here that have the double door just because hotels are like that.
Mhm.
Keep out the cold air in the winter and heat. But there's always somebody right there to open that second door. So the man opens, and then you have somebody else that's like, welcome, and then you can walk in together. Um, so any place out there that has 2 double doors and you got extra staff, they need to be opening the door. I think any place that has, especially high-end places,
Mhm.
and most of them are pretty on point with that, but especially if you're going out for a really nice dinner and you gotta go through a double door, that hostess should definitely be, and most of them do, or have them propped open already.
Right.
Mm.
I'm gonna start paying attention to that because you are right. So many times they're just standing there, literally at the door.
They're checking their Twitter.
Oh, yeah, exactly. How many followers do I have? So let's talk about that, social media. How do you guys feel about the joint Facebook accounts?
It's ridiculous.
I mean, give me a damn break. And the best part is like when they combine the first name into like Jerry and Jane Smith. So Jerry and Jane is all one word, so it's confusing already. I don't know what's happening. I feel like I can't read. Really?
But
Like,
at what point are you so insecure that you feel like you need to have a joint account?
that's what it is. I
That's
agree.
what it is.
I agree. I had a situation recently where Lee went somewhere with a female, and somebody else was like, "Oh, like, are you okay with that? Like, does that bother you?" And I was like, "If that bothered me, like, I don't need this relationship. Like, I'm not going to live my life that way. If he wants to go out and like bang somebody in the backseat of the car, I mean, first off, that would be really difficult because the backseat of Buster is like really tiny. So, like, that would be a situation in itself that would probably deserve an award of some kind of like, yay. That's amazing because I can't bend like that. But if like that's how I'm living my life of in that fear and jealousy and wonder, like I don't want to live that way. That's not the relationship I want to be in at all. I don't want your password to your phone. I don't want to give you mine. Cause like, yeah, maybe I'm talking to Shay about something that annoyed me. Or maybe just want to tell Shay about the hot guy I saw the other day, which is also okay. Is that an unpopular opinion that it's okay to find other people attractive even when you're in a relationship?
I think it's normal.
Right.
If you're not doing that, you're lying to yourself,
Mhm.
or you're definitely not. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Yeah, that's a big
It's
red flag. If you're like saying, "Oh, I never look at anybody else," you're lying. You're lying through your teeth.
Like that
Please,
can't be true.
I can't. It can't be. And I think back in the day, I'm like, I don't know exactly the exact age of you guys, but back then, I think that was a issue. That was a because monogamy was a, that was a strong thing, and I think they didn't want to like mess with that, right? I think nowadays, where things have changed, times have changed, people's opinion have changed from the old school way of thinking. Liking somebody else's picture was like detrimental. Now it's like, you know, I'm sorry, I'm a boob guy. I'm gonna like this picture because she has boobs. I'm just that's just me again. But you shouldn't get angry at somebody unless it breaks the boundaries that you have set for yourself as a relationship. Because again, boundaries are a main thing. People have heard me say it many times on your show, where that's it. You have to communicate to what your boundaries are, and if you pass those boundaries, then yes, you're not taking the relationship um seriously, or you don't care about the other person. So if that is a boundary that you set, then you got to withhold that. But if not, open game.
Do you think it's okay? I mean, I guess it's okay. People can say or feel whatever they want. But, if you say to Sarah, well, my boundary is like, you cannot look at other dudes when we're out in public. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? I mean, you
Isn't
can
that
feel that
narcissism?
way,
I mean, is
but
that's a red flag for being in that type of relationship. Now, okay, here's the thing. If someone says yes to that, do you I mean,
then they're both crazy and that's fine. Crazy goes together.
exactly. I mean, that's the thing, right?
I think so. Yeah. I Yeah, so joint Facebook is a no for all of us. Sharing passwords, a no, right?
I believe in
Crystal?
personal space.
It depends on what it is. Sometimes it's just easier on certain accounts. If it's
Oh,
not social media, I mean, I don't to be honest, if I'm dating someone and they haven't figured out my Instagram password, then they don't know me very well. But then again, like, there's really nothing exciting about, like, my DMs. Like, do you really wanna see how many times my dad sends me Twitter stuff, like,
or how
through
many times we send
Messenger a
each
day?
other
Uh-huh.
ridiculous. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
I
like
get it.
Claudia King, and then it's like, "Shay, Shay, Shay," and it's just videos, and then, like, crying emojis, and then videos, and then laughing
Right.
emojis.
That's pretty much our DMs.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, there's,
but
like, not a lot of substance other than, like,
mm,
inappropriateness and humor.
yeah.
Inappropriate as in like humor, or
Mhm.
inappropriate
Yes.
as
Like, just
relationship?
No,
Because
no,
there's
no, humor.
these are
okay.
humor.
Now,
Mhm.
here's another thing too. How what do you guys think about knowing someone else's password and abusing that privilege?
Mm-mm.
Like I said, I'm going to reiterate. I believe in personal space. My phone is my phone. If I invite you to look at my phone, that's my choice.
Mhm.
I believe my phone is my phone, my computer is my computer, whatever it is. What do you guys feel about that?
I
I
totally agree. Yeah, and the abuse of the password is also bullshit, I think. If you give it to them to look on occasion, I mean, I mean, that's up to you, so that's okay. But yeah, I think my stuff is my stuff. And again, if I feel like I have to be looking at Lee's stuff all the time, then there's deeper issues that we need to deal with because I shouldn't have to live my life that way. Or I shouldn't live my life that way. So like that's a red flag for a deeper problem, I think.
Mhm. I've been there. I've been the one that's gone through someone's and you know what
Same.
about it is when you feel the need to go looking, you're gonna find what you're looking for. It it
Yes.
it it happens every time, and I think now, looking back on that, I in the last, like, 3 years, like, I've learned so much about myself in relationships and just being
Mhm.
not being with someone and just being by myself, that I'm like, "Oh my god, who was I?" But now
Mhm.
I'm like, "If you feel the need to go through my phone, then leave.
Right.
Bye." And if I get insecure about you, then we're doing something wrong. There's something that's we're not communicating correctly. Or and that is what it is. I mean, you don't need to be sharing Facebooks, Instagrams, but I mean, if I sit there and I tell you, "Hey, I need you to go on my phone and I need you to DM Claudia real quick this video," go do it.
And then don't
Sit there and scroll back to January
right.
because you're
Exactly.
like,
But again, you're looking
down
for
a rabbit
something.
hole.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
sorely disappointed in what you see.
And things in the past too, like, if it's prior to that person and yeah, like, Macs especially, I've got messages from 4 or 5 years ago stuck on my Mac because it's connected to my Messenger
Right.
in its own folder, like, don't don't go back and look at something from the past prior to you and then get upset about it.
Right.
I've had friends that have done that, and they've gotten mad about things like, "Oh, it was between this time," and I'm like, "But were you guys together? Why are you mad about this?"
Mhm.
You're just looking for a reason to be upset.
Mhm.
How do we feel about flirting?
I love it.
If you're in a relationship.
Oh.
So flirting with somebody, you're like, "Yes, flirt." So you're in a relationship. Is it okay to flirt with other people?
I guess it depends on your boundaries.
Mhm.
I think
I think
everyone's
it's okay.
different.
I think it's okay too. But I agree, Shay, like if the boundaries are if those have been stated,
Mhm.
but like everybody wants to feel wanted.
Exactly.
And I mean, I have a really funny story, um, where I went to a bar. Lee and I were at a bar with another friend, and it was really busy. I went up to the bar to get a drink, and so I'm waiting and waiting. This guy starts talking to me. He ends up buying me a shot. I'm not gonna turn it down. Like, come on. So I go back to the table and I'm like, you're not going to believe this. Like, that dude up there, he bought me a shot while I was waiting. And Lee's like, fantastic. So my friend, it was a girl. So she's like, I'm going to go see if he'll buy me a shot. So she goes up there, starts talking. She's like, yeah, that's my friend over there. So he buys her a shot. So she comes back. So then Lee says, I'm going to see if he'll buy me a shot. So we bet that if he bought Lee a shot, we would do a shot of anything Lee wanted. Never agree to that, you guys.
So he won.
What did he want?
I did not win. Yeah. So he comes back. The guy bought him a shot. The 3 wise men is what we had. Exactly. So yeah, it's literally the worst liquid I've ever put in my mouth. Yeah, it's like
Johnny Jack and
Jose.
I thought it was Johnny Jack and I thought it was 3 whiskeys.
It's disgusting, whatever it is. Oh, maybe the 4 is you add Jose or something. It doesn't matter.
Jim.
Jim.
Yeah, it's the 3 W's. Yeah,
it's horrible. So a bet is a bet. So we drank it and then we said we must go home now because we're going to die. But telling that whole funny story to say like, Lee didn't care that I went up there and some guy bought me a shot. He was just like, you go, girl. Like, good for you.
I love that. Now that to me is innocent flirting on like, it's kind of fun. Now, if you were sitting next to Lee and you're just talking and ignoring Lee.
Right.
But you went up to the bar and this guy was like, blah, blah, blah. And you were like, ha, 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 bye. I'm going back to my husband and my friends.
Right.
Totally different. I think that's totally fine. I don't think that I think just because you're in a relationship doesn't like you have your boundaries. And if you're secure in your relationship, then that shouldn't be a problem because your flirting isn't real flirting. It's innocent, like just back and forth with someone because you're not going home with this person.
Right. It's feel good flirting.
Yeah. It's kind of like, thank you. You made me feel good. I'm going to go.
The question that comes to my mind is the guy who did buy the shot. I mean, after your friend going up there, I think it just became more of a novelty thing. Like, fuck yeah, I'll just buy everyone.
Right.
But I think, like, where was I going with this? It was one of those things where it's like, picking up somebody in a bar or wherever you're at, a gym or something, right? You shoot your shot, and then if it doesn't work out, do you get pissed off, or guys get pissed off? I look at it, I go, okay, hey, I shot my shot, didn't work out, cool. You go over there, I go over here, no big deal. But it's the people who keep going, I think, puts a bad name to everything and stuff like that, which it's hard to shoot your shot sometimes, especially if you're nervous or if you're like, oh, I'm not going to get shot down. This person's way out of my league and stuff like that. But going back to it, flirting, I'm a firm believer in flirting, firm believer. And, with depending on the relationship and the boundaries that you choose, how far does your flirting go? You know what I mean?
Will you flirt in front of your significant other? Or is this something that only occurs when they're not around?
I would do, again, boundaries, and our relationship is a little bit different than most relationships. If it's someone that if it's an instant thing, like if we're at a bar or a restaurant and someone's flirting with me, I would make it known that I'm with somebody, you know what I mean? And, we would do it together, I guess you would say. But I would definitely not ignore Sarah.
Right.
Because I think that's just rude. That's if you're with somebody, you don't ignore them. Now, if I'm building a relationship on the side, I do the talking, I do, the flirting and getting to know somebody and stuff like that. And then I would share that with Sarah. I would be like, hey, I just met someone today. This is what we're doing. This is what we're thinking about. It's been going back and forth, a little bit of some cute banter and all that stuff. And, she thinks I'm cute. We send each other pictures, things like that, where it's like you're building a relationship, right? So it's the new part of the relationship work. and then it just, depending on how deep it is and if she feels comfortable and stuff like that, then I would get along and be like, do you want to join in, or what's the thing? Like, do you want to join in this banter? Not like join in the bed part, but I'm just saying. But that's like, do you want to join in with this type of banter? I mean, like, or are you just going to leave it up to me and stuff like that? So,
And let's again point out that these are within the boundaries of Russell and Sarah's relationship. So it's okay when he says, I might be out and shooting my shot, etc., etc.
I actually think if you're with somebody and they're like, say I'm with a guy and like we're dating and a girl comes up and starts to flirt with him, I kind of like to hear it. Like it's kind of a turn on in a way, like it's innocent flirting, just like going up to the bar and getting that shot. It's knowing that there's other people out there that find your spouse or your significant other or partner, whatever, attractive, and you're like, okay, cool. That makes me feel good. I mean, like I don't want to go out every time to a bar and that's what we're doing, but I do think it is kind of fun to see someone else try to flirt with your your person.
I agree. I have watched it
And I
before as
think they
well.
like to watch it too. I think that even the other person, like just coming back with the shot, it's kind of like it's I don't know. It's like you still know that you still got it.
mhm.
Right,
Like
right.
you're not dead yet. Like, and it kind of spices it up a little too because it's kind of like I said, like a turn on. Like, ooh, so let me see if I can go get a drink from this guy.
Right, right.
And Lee's thinking the same thing.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll go get a drink
Watch
from
me get
this
there.
guy.
Damn it. That did not work out
And he
in my
comes back with
favor.
a shot like deep and 3 wise men.
Right. Yeah, it was not good. It was not good, you guys. Well, we are gonna take a quick turn here before I let you guys go. I have had so much fun, and I don't want it to end, but our audience gets mad if they have to spend more than like an hour and 15 with us. So we're gonna talk about tattoos. We have already talked about them a little bit earlier in the episode. And I'll again mention I'm the only one representing Russell's tattoo shop today, right here, Revolt Tattoos, Vegas, also Houston, Salt Lake City, Tahoe.
Yep, still there.
Right on. Yeah.
Yep.
See, I know
Wow.
where they all are, and I'm wearing the shirt. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that anymore, Russell. But we are going to talk a little bit about tattoos. So, Shea, you mentioned earlier your work and that you get to hear a lot of regretful, terrible tattoo stories. I would love to hear, and we're not going to name names, obviously, or say anything that would, break client confidentiality, but tell us a good, funny, regretful tattoo.
So Thanksgiving, I get a call 2 days later, and this girl sends me a photo of the tattoo. It's cute, and it's still red. And I said, "Hey, when did you get this?" And she goes, "On Thanksgiving with my family. We got drunk, got tattoos." And she goes, "It was instant regret where I put it. It's just in a bad area." She goes, "The tattoo is cute." She goes, "I just don't know why I put it there. It's on the back of her neck." I was like, well, we still have to wait like 2 months for it to completely heal before we start to take it off. But that one to me was I got drunk with my family on Thanksgiving. Names. I see exes' names all the time. And I'm just, okay, and Russell, this is for you. When you're tattooing a name on somebody, do you just already know it's going to be instant regret one day?
Yes. You want, yes. I don't think there's a tattoo artist out there right now that would literally say, this is a good idea.
Yeah,
You should do this.
You need Jacob's name down your arm.
If it's your own name, if it's your kid's name, I mean, I don't understand why people put their own name in there.
I was gonna say
then
that
you're gonna
doesn't
forget your name.
don't you know you?
Forgot. What's my name again?
Oh, I'm Shea. That's
Shea.
right.
Like, oh shit. Does this work? Like kid's name, perfectly fine with doing something like that. Or those thoughts don't do it. But yeah, definitely. When someone says I'm gonna put my name or something that resembles them, I try to turn it to that, where it's like, hey, instead of actually putting their name, how about you put what do they like to do? You know what I mean? Oh, they like hot air balloons. Cool. Let's put a hot air balloon on there so it does represent it, but it is one of those things where if something goes awry, you can just say, I like hot air balloons. Or
Mm.
I thought this was cute. You know, things like that where you can move it to something else and create a new reality to that tattoo. Yeah.
What
But
about
names,
wedding rings? What do you think about wedding ring tattoos? We do a ton of those.
Removals.
I don't like doing fingers.
I
It's
hate
such
finger
a pain.
tattoos.
It's such a pain in the ass to do, and it never stays. It's a waste of money.
Mhm.
Coming from a tattoo artist, it is a waste of money. Will I
It is.
do it? Yes, but with a very heavy warning label to it. You know
There's
what
a
I mean?
place around here that won't do them. It's a big tattoo place, and they're like, "We won't do the inside of your fingers, it'll rub off, so it'll look like crap, and we don't want it to be associated with a crappy tattoo."
And that's Revolt's standpoint too. It is one of those things. Now face tattoos, same thing. You know, do you get a lot of face tattoos?
We actually don't treat them. We have to because it can go bad. Like, you're putting a laser to a face, like, very delicate skin. Like, we'll do the neck and stuff, but when it comes to your face, everybody sees your face, and it can go wrong. But we do see a lot of face tattoos, and I see a lot of people who got a neck tattoo, and then they join the Army or the Navy, and they're like, "I have to get this off." And I'm like, "You're looking at a year and a half. Like, honey, you need to go tell your parents that you fucked up." You're not going to be able to join the army, like, next week.
Right.
So,
You can't hide it with your hair.
take time. I mean, and I also think it's important if people are gonna get a tattoo that is questionable, keep it in an ink that can be removed. Black and red.
Exactly. Okay, black.
Black, and then just because black is a carbon-based ink, and it's the easiest for the laser to pick up on. Red comes out really easily. Your like blues, purples, greens, white will flip to brown. So if you laser white ink or mix white ink with certain ones, it will paradoxically darken sometimes.
Wow.
And that's just technology. I mean, we just haven't come. I mean, we did have come a long way with tattoo removal. I mean, they were meant to be permanent, so we're doing the complete opposite. And I mean, it's a commitment. It's 10 times as much to get one removed as it is to, like, get the tattoo.
And it's more painful, right? Or
Oh, yeah.
theoretically?
If theoretically, I mean, if it's a really tiny one, it's gonna just, like, pinch for a second, like, kinda like but, I mean, if you're got a sleeve that we have to do, you're looking at you might wanna numb that first.
Wow.
Let's go with that potential unpopular opinion real quick. Numbing before getting a tattoo.
Be committed.
Yeah. It really does depend on the person. Like if they really want the tattoo and they cannot go through it. I mean, we have uh numbing spray to the point where the skin has to be broken in
Mhm.
order for it to work. So basically you have gone through the tattoo, and this is just like toward the end where you really can't kind of not can't sit there, but it is getting to the point where like it's starting to hurt. If you're on hour 5 6 and then you just now bring out the spray to help with the edge, that's cool. And I don't think any tattoo artist would say that that's a bad thing. um Now numbing it before you get there and doing all that and coming up, showing up to your appointment, and this is probably one of the big things about tattoo artists. If you get to if your appointment's at 11 o'clock and you get there at 11 o'clock and go, oh, I need to put this numbing cream on there, you know, numbing cream has to kind of stay on there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we're not going to start this tattoo for another 2 hours. Yeah, no, you're
Mm.
sitting through this thing or you're not getting it that day. You know what I mean?
It only lasts so long.
Yeah.
I mean
I
I mean, just prescription strength, like the topical numbing creams, 30 minutes, but you're looking at like an hour before it wears off. So you have an hour sometimes, and that's prescription strength.
mm,
I just saw something on video. I forgot what it was, if it was TikTok or not, most likely. But um they put people under, like,
No.
local anesthesia, and the guy's like, I saw it. The guy's like on the chair. Everything's out. He's hooked up to
mm.
an IV, and these are like 5, 6 artists on this guy, and he's getting like a full bodysuit within the time frame that he's under. Yeah, and I'm like, holy cow! Like, just to wake up to that pain,
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't even want that.
And how
That's
are you
like
gonna
waking
heal from that?
it's you like, what do you do? Like, you have to have a month off of whatever
Right.
you're doing in life
It
to
can't
do
be
that,
good for
but
your
I saw
body, though. I mean,
yeah,
How do
you're
you
putting your body through that much trauma. I
how do
mean,
you Sanoderm all that?
you legit it's like probably taking care of a burn victim where they have to stay still and be medicated for a certain period of time. Now, again, everyone heals differently, but that's my idea.
Mhm.
I could be totally wrong. Could I don't know what the healing process is for something like that, but yeah, I saw that where it was a guy was totally under and he was getting full leg sleeves, full arm sleeves. I think his stomach was being tattooed and it was a 6 or 7 artists on this guy for about 5, 6 hours. And it's like you can do a lot with that, but I'm just saying that's crazy.
That's insane. Now I have used the stuff you're saying that you guys used before when Joey did my Wizard of Oz. And you've
The
seen that,
Vaseline stuff.
Russell. Yes.
Yeah.
Or like whatever. Yeah. After I don't know, hour 6, it was a little angry. So
That's okay. But that's also getting to the point where you're about to be done and you only have maybe 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, just saying, maybe an hour left in the tattoo, and you don't want to tap out because you got to finish it. You know what I mean? We see that a lot with people who come into town and be like, I got to get this done in
mhm,
a day, or I can't be back here for another, year.
right.
You know what I mean? So
I love Joey so much, but I hate that he has to take a lunch break. It drives me insane.
never heard of that before.
try getting a
This dude, I mean, Shay, he it's like clockwork. There's no powering through. There's no, let me just sit here and eat a quick Twizzler, because that's what I do when I'm getting a tattoo. He has to take a lunch break, like 30 minutes in the break room. So, yeah, love him, but I wish somebody could just stand there and feed him bites of something so that we can keep going.
That's funny. I've never heard of someone taking a lunch break.
Oh,
I got a
yes.
question for you, ladies. Unpopular thing. Would you rather have a home cooked meal or go out to dinner?
Go out to dinner because I cook every meal.
But
Someone was
somebody's
cooking
cooking
for
for
you.
you.
Like, would you rather have a cooked meal and stay in, or would you want to go
On
out and
occasion,
do the whole kid and caboodle?
if it's raining, we're staying in. If it's cold, we're staying in. But if we're gonna go have margaritas on a patio somewhere, let's go out and have margaritas on a patio. Get some cheese dip. But I want
It's a
both.
case.
I work at home, so I feel like sometimes I don't want to necessarily be home. That sometimes when I get off work, it's like I do want to go out
Mhm.
and get food somewhere else. I'm sick of cleaning the dishes. I don't want to smell it in my house. I don't want the house to smell like salmon.
I do like a good home cooked meal. Lee cooks the majority, as in like 99% of the meals. I bake. So yeah, so I do the baking,
And microwave.
desserts. Yes, and I can crush a microwave. And I can cook. He's a really good cook. So I let him do it. But I would say special occasions or like weekend, whatever, like yeah, it's nice to get out sometimes. There was a long time though where I would not eat in a fast food restaurant. I would eat fast food, but not in the restaurant. So I'd always have to get
To
it to
eat in the
go.
dining room at
No,
McDonald's.
mm-mm. No, I was not
I
in.
don't remember the last time I've been in a fast food restaurant.
I did eat in an Arby's like 3 months ago.
Because they have the meat.
They did have the meat. And I was an idiot. I ordered a beef and cheddar, which is amazing. And all these people that don't like Arby's or people that talk about not like, I don't get it. Arby's is amazing. I have
Mhm.
Arby's sauce in the fridge upstairs. But I got a beef and cheddar and they were like, "Do you want to make it a double?" And I'm like, yes. That was a mistake. It doesn't need to
Half
be a
pounder.
double. Yeah,
What double meat?
it was double meat, so they had all of the meat, and I'm looking at it after, like, 3 bites, and I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with me? Like, why did I think this was gonna be a good idea?" So, don't get the double meat, but if you're at McDonald's and they have the McRib and they offer you a second one for $1,
Oh,
that's a yes every day.
all
Every
day.
day. Yeah, the guy I remember, and he was like, "Oh, do you want a second one for $1?" Do I not? I mean, come on. Yes.
That's a dumb question.
Do you guys believe that the McRib is really done as they have said?
No.
No.
Same.
I don't eat the McRib. I mean, it's not. I'm so plain Jane when it comes to fast food. I am like a chicken nugget French fry girl and a Coke. I don't want burgers or sandwiches. Like if I want a burger, I want to go to a place that specializes in it. It's like beer and burger, and it's like the best burger ever.
Mhm.
But I don't. I'm not a big fast food person. And lately, Chick-fil-A, I haven't even been wanting Chick-fil-A.
That's weird.
I know.
That's the Lord's chicken.
Yeah, and they should be open on Sundays. Unpopular opinion: Chick-fil-A should be open on Sundays, at least for the church crowd. So I can.
Right.
Church
Do
hour.
like 12 to 3,
Yeah,
11 to 2, something like
I know.
that.
Can you imagine the uproar if it was 12 to 3? Yeah, people, I don't even think people would eat at Chick-fil-A because it would be so packed
Oh, true.
if
That's
it was
true.
at 12 to 3.
You'd have to line up at, like, 9. So then
Mhm.
you'd miss church. So, like,
Well, now you can watch church on your phone.
that's true. So you can get in line with church on your phone and you're good.
Or maybe they should just have a service at Chick-fil-A on Sundays, and that's the refreshments.
Now we're here. Now we're figuring shit out.
Mhm.
I love this. The
Solving the
Church
world
of
problems.
Chick-fil-A.
Hashtag Chick-fil-A corporate.
Love it. Love it. They're certainly gonna do this, and Shea is getting the credit. Russell, any other tattoo stories or fun that you wanna share?
Yeah, this kid comes in, like kid, first tattoo, just turned 18. He comes in and he's like, I want to get a tattoo of someone's name. Going back to what you said, right? So I was like, okay. He's like, it's a girl's name. And I was like, okay,
Other
where do you want to put it? No shit. He goes, I want to put it on my face, above my eyebrow. And I'm like, is this your first tattoo? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I said, it pains me to, and I even was very honest with him. I was like, it pains me to say this because I don't want you to go to another artist that's going to fuck up your face, but I'm not going to do it. It's on your face and it's your first tattoo. Not going to do it. You don't know where you're going to be in the next couple years and just life in general, what you're going to do. And second of all, putting a girl's name on your face is definitely a no-no. Pick any other part of your body, not going to do it on your face. And he's like, well, that's what I want. So I was like, okay, so what are you going to do in the next couple years? Right? He's like, I'm 18. I don't need a job.
must be nice.
We try not to, it's still a customer service thing, right? But things slip out. And I was like, bullshit. I was like, you're 18 years old. You don't even know what you're going to be doing in life and having a girl's name on it. He's like, would it be different if it was my mom's name? And I was like, I don't think your mom would be proud of you if you had a tattoo on your face of her name. So pick another spot. No, that's what I want. And he leave. I mean, he was kicking and screaming and saying this is bullshit and everything else. But I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I will tattoo mostly anything, but I want to make sure that it comes with a very big warning label to it.
Mhm.
I don't want you to regret it, and I don't want to be the person to be responsible for your regret. So, yeah, that was the craziest thing, craziest. And when he said to me, I'm 18, I don't need a job," and I'm like,
Let me ask you: was it the Island Boys?
no, It probably would have been better if it was them. I would have started recording this. No, those guys just, I don't, yeah, no.
Unpopular opinion, I do not like them.
Oh, I think
Agreed.
that's a popular
I think
opinion.
it might be a
I
popular
don't think
opinion.
anyone likes them.
It
I
pains
think people
me to
watch them.
see them and hear them. Like, it pains me. Like, I can't understand, like, what was going through. Like, what are you gonna do when you're 50 and your entire face is inked up and every part of your body is, and all you had was a TikTok?
Right.
Because in 10 years, we are all gonna be on another social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone watches them because they have musical talent.
Right.
There's no
Like,
music.
I don't think people subscribe to their SoundCloud to listen to them rap.
One of them just had a baby. And I'm like, you do not need to be a parent.
Yeah. Some people should not be allowed to procreate.
I know.
It just is what it
agree.
is.
I mean, we get licenses for firearms. Why don't we
Right?
get parent? I mean, that's an unpopular thing, but I think that's another show.
Where can people find you? So if they want to see some of the memes and videos that we send each other, or if they want to see how to get a tattoo removed that they regret, where can they find you?
So I'm on Instagram. It's Shea Alexandra, 2 X's. I don't know why. But you're really gonna see a lot of my toddler. He's got his own little personality. He's quite funny. But a lot of that, if you want a tattoo removed, you want something aesthetically pleasing done to your face or whatever, DM me. I'll hook you up. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
And if you want Shea to explain how and why she has never been to Las Vegas, also track her down. This is literally the most unbelievable news I've ever heard. It was more surprising than learning that she had a child in her life. Russell, if other people want tattoos, if they want to know where they can get Revolt merchandise that you don't wear, but they can, where can they find you?
Revolt Tattoos. There's 2 of them in Las Vegas. I'm over at the Meadows Mall location. So if you want a tattoo, please come see me. I would love to do it. I would be honored to do tattoos for you. I'm still at that stage where I feel honored that people say yes to get tattooed by me. So, but yeah, I'm in Las Vegas, Meadows Mall, revolttattoos.com. I'm on the profile now, so I feel like I've made it. But yeah, come see me if you want to get a tattoo. And social media, Instagram, 11_tattooing. No, 11 Main Street on Instagram, and then on TikTok, 11_tattooing, which I still do the funny videos and stuff. So I can't get away from that. I'm going to do a couple today.
Oh, perfect. So I will definitely.
No dancing still. I'm not dancing.
Maybe when I come out for my tattoo, we can do a dancing TikTok together.
I can't wait to see this.
I'm excited. Well, Russell and Shea, thank you so much for being here today. You guys have been absolutely amazing, and I am already stoked to do part 2. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media so you'll never miss what's going on. Remember, until next week, you are strong enough and you are worth it. Thank you for listening to the Strong Enough podcast. You can find us on your favorite podcast platform by searching Strong Enough. And on YouTube, we're on the Spear Talk channel. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Strong Enough Pod. If you have suggestions for an upcoming episode or a future guest, please reach out at strongenoughpod@gmail.com. Remember, you are worth it.